Hey everyone, Isabel Fox here. Regardless of where you're at right now, whether you're making $1,000, $5,000, or $20,000 a month, there is a one number everyone has in common: 24. We all have just 24 hours in a day. And so how we spend each of these hours is of exceptional importance. So often, escorts come to me broke or having hit a financial plateau, unable to grow their income beyond where they're at, who just aren't spending their 24 hours effectively in a way which leads to achieving their goals. So in this video, I'm going to share how I set up my day, the daily habits I have, the actions I take, how I think about my time, which enabled me to get to $2,000 an hour as an escort and continually grow my income year on year. I'll also end by showing you an example day plan from an escort I work with, who took our income from $3.5K to almost $12,000 in just 1 month. So you can take it, copy it, and experience the same results. Let's begin. Habit number 1 is PTT, plan tomorrow today. Contrary to popular opinion, it's not about how much you do, but rather what and how well you do it. When I begin working with escorts, they typically fall into one of two categories. They either have an ideas list about what they should be doing, which is so long we'd need an entire year together just to go through it, or they're so exhausted and overwhelmed due to information overload about what they could be doing that they've stopped taking action altogether because they're just too damn confused about what the next right step actually is. I understand and have been in both of these categories myself many times. There is no shortage of information out there today about all the things a person could be doing. So I know how hard it is to identify and feel confident about what the best way to spend your time is. And for years, I ran on either two modes: Energizer Bunny at 100 miles an hour, with to-do lists packed to the absolute brim each day I barely had time to go to the toilet, or sloth, exhausted, emotionally and physically depleted, and with almost zero fucks. I just didn't have the energy to try or care anymore. Until I ran out of money, of course. Thankfully, a mentor I worked with introduced me to the concept of PTT, and it's a simple guiding principle I live by today. Just 3 letters and 3 simple words: plan tomorrow today. The concept is simple pimple. Decide today exactly what you're going to be doing tomorrow, and take time to plan it out properly. Each evening, I take as much time as is needed to determine clearly how my precious 24 hours in the next day are going to be spent. Whether you're you, me, Elon Musk, or Kim Kardashian, everyone can relate to what it's like to wake up in the morning and just have things happen. Even when I wasn't very successful and didn't have a lot going on, I could wake up and easily become distracted by posts on social media, or a text from a friend, an unexpected email in my inbox, or the fact the hot water in my shower just stopped working. In fact, the more successful you become, the louder the noise around you tends to get. Life happens, and the meager 24 hours we all have can so easily be consumed by unproductive bullshit that doesn't serve us in any way if we want to hit our goals. Escorts, we know this better than anyone else. After all, if you're an independent escort, it's not like you have a boss to report to in the morning or a workplace to rock up to at a certain time. No one is coming to make sure you get out of bed or check your work phone or get your ass going, right? You likely know how easy it is to waste time and have just 3, 4, or more hours slip away from you each day due to simply becoming distracted or consumed by the happenings of life around you. I had a mentor once who forced me to record by writing down every day for 3 months exactly how I spent my time in 30-minute increments. He then had me go back over each day and categorize it into productive and unproductive work tasks. Not only was it painfully tedious, but I was astonished at how much time I wasted doing random crap which genuinely had nothing to do with making more money, which was my primary goal at the time. If you do this honestly right now, I'm willing to bet you too will be shocked and appalled at how much time you spend on frivolous crap that has nothing to do with bringing you closer to your goals. But many people intuitively know this, and if you're listening to this, you might already be feeling pretty guilty about how you spend your time as it is. If you aren't where you want to be, hopefully you've clued onto the fact that it's because you aren't doing what you need to do to get there. Yet, by the end of this video, I guarantee you'll feel differently. So of course the question becomes, what in the hell should I be doing? How do I plan tomorrow today and select the tasks which do and don't matter? I will show you in less than 5 minutes how to figure it out right now. Firstly, Get very clear on what your one highest priority is in your life or business at this moment, and write it down at the top of a piece of paper. For most escorts I work with, it's simple. They want to make more money. Right, so make more money gets written down at the top of your page. Now what I want you to do is to think about and write down under this everything you typically spend time doing in a day. Be thorough, fearless, and concise. No one will see this but you, so don't cheat and leave anything out to make yourself feel better. So that list might include showering, cleaning the house, scrolling on social media, going to the gym, lash appointments, replying to work texts, talking to mom on the phone, grocery shopping, seeing clients, and buying new lingerie. Just list it all. Once you've done that and you've gotten it all down, I want you to go back through this list from the top and ask yourself this one simple question about each task. Does this make me more money? For now, keep things very simple. It's a simple yes or no question. Does this task, when done, result in money getting placed into my hands? Now, you will be tempted to overcomplicate it and try to extrapolate out how getting your lashes done, for example, makes you more money because you need to be attractive to clients. That would be wrong. Because when asked simply, does getting my lashes done make me more money? Does the act of turning up to a lash appointment and getting fake bits of hair glued onto my existing bodily eyelash hair finish with money being placed in my hands? The answer is no. Getting your lashes done doesn't in any way result in you making more money. In fact, it's the reverse. It loses you money. At the end of the appointment, you hand money away. So let's go through this initial list now with this aggressively simple question in mind and answer each one. Does showering make me more money? No. Does cleaning the house make me more money? No. Does scrolling social media make me more money? Well, Isabel, I need to be on social media because that's what all escorts are doing these days to show clients my personality and get them to book me. So actually, I do need to scroll because I need to see what other escorts are doing so I get ideas on what content I should post today. And actually, I need to like and boost other escorts' tweets on X because that boosts my profile. So I kind of think this does make me more money. And I would say, And when was the last time you scrolled on social media and had money put in your hand at the end of the scroll? What's that? Oh, never? That's right. So the answer is no. Does going to the gym make me more money? No. I will address later though how your appearance relates to making money. The simple answer to this is no. Clients do not pay you to go to the gym. Does going to a lash appointment make me more money? No. Does replying to work texts make me more money? Yes. A client cannot show up and pay you if you don't respond to his message to arrange a booking. Does talking to my mum on the phone make me more money? No. Does grocery shopping make me more money? No. Does seeing clients make me more money? Yes, obviously, we struck gold. Does buying new lingerie make me more money? No. No serious client to date has ever texted me and said, Isabel, here's some money to go shopping and buy yourself some new lingerie. No need to meet with me for a booking or give me anything or attention of any kind ever again. Just enjoy yourself. And then deposited cash into my bank account. So, of these 10 tasks, which I see on Escort's daily to-do list all the time, we have answered no to 8 items and yes to 2, when asking ourselves simply and honestly, does doing this make me more money? In this specific example, 80% of these items produce no money at all, and 20% of them make money. You may have heard of the 80-20 rule, also known as the Paro Principle, which is a phenomenon that states that roughly 80% of outcomes come from 20% of causes. Or 20% of activity produces 80% of results. This is, in my experience, incredibly true. However, once you make your entire list and go through it, you'll likely find in this instance that less than 20% of the crap you're doing directly makes you money. And that's because you're likely doing upwards of 20 things in a day, yet only 2 tasks an escort does directly makes us money. Responding to clients and seeing clients. That's it. Now, of course, we need to shower and eat and not live like pigs by cleaning up, and we need to do some basic self-care like exercising. But when it comes to making money and moving us forward towards our goals, these tasks have basically no impact, and it's really important we understand that. Because when we plan tomorrow today, we need to prioritize the activities which directly result in the outcome we want to achieve first, then put everything else second. We need to order our day, and therefore our lives, in such a way that outcome producing activities get given the most time, attention, and energy, and everything else gets worked in after or around them. The purpose of the task I just showed you is not to have you stop talking to your family or friends, but to understand that doing so, while probably important to you, doesn't have a direct impact on the goal of making more money. So, if you're really serious about making more money right now in order to get where you want to be, you need to be willing to do things differently. That might mean calling mum at the end of the day once you finish replying to texts and seeing clients and instead of watching TV. You can take this approach to any goal you have right now as a simple way to identify what does and doesn't matter. For example, if your goal were to lose weight and you did this task, you'd identify that sticking to your food plan and exercising is what matters to lose weight. Therefore, when planning tomorrow today, you'd want to prioritize preparing the right food and exercising first, then everything else second. When I worked as a PT, this is what people who succeeded at hitting their weight loss goals did better than anyone else all the time. They didn't have a special secret diet, or a better trainer, or higher quality supplements, or do a specific type of exercise better than anyone else. All they did was prioritize their time to ensure they ate the right food and exercised every day consistently for an elongated period of time. Now, at first, when you do this, you might get a bit confused. You might wonder if updating your website, for example, is a money-making task because it's one platform where clients can contact you and make a booking, which results in you getting money. Remember, the purpose of this for now is to keep things very, very, very simple. Updating your website in and of itself doesn't result in you getting paid more money. Here is another way to think about the question. If I put a gun to your head and said you had 24 hours to make as much money as possible, sitting down and changing some words on your website is not what you would do in the desperate attempt to save your life. You would hit your phone hard and see as many clients as humanly possible. There is a famous story about a meeting which took place between Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. They were meeting for the first time at a dinner hosted by Bill Gates' mother. She asked everyone to go around the table and identify the one most important thing which led to their success. Both Warren and Bill gave the same one-word answer: focus. That is the purpose of planning tomorrow today. To bring the clarity needed to help us focus on what we need to do to achieve our goals. Like all new skills, when we are first learning, it is best to keep things simple. So just start by identifying your primary goal, the single most important thing you want to achieve right now, and then figuring out which very few tasks directly correlate to making that goal happen. These tasks should then be the highest priority for you each day. How you structure your time, energy, and everything else should be done to directly support your ability to get these things done to the absolute fullest. So, with that in mind, let's move on to habit number 2, respond to all inquiries. As this video is predominantly for escorts wanting to make more money, now that I've given you the methodology behind how to plan tomorrow today, and therefore already identified our top most important tasks, our second daily action we want to make a habit to become more successful is to respond to all inquiries. And by all inquiries, I really do mean all. Every hi, babe, DTF, missed phone call, and blank text. Why? Because when you respond to 100 more messages, due to pure statistics, it is highly probable that you will get more bookings and meet more paying clients, thereby making more money. When at first I suggest this to escorts, the common response is to tell me about all the time they've wasted in the past responding to clients that never resulted in bookings, or how irritating it is to go back and forth with clients who were just fishing for pictures, or wouldn't answer their questions, or give clear booking information and follow their instructions. And of course, how appalled they are by men who contact them with rude messages and bad intentions, not understanding why another human being would do this to them and go out of their way to waste someone's time. Or how exhausting it is to sit on their phone for hours each day communicating with people who may never become paying clients. I know all the reasons, which are really just excuses, because I lived them for 6 years and longer. But real talk, this is the job. Escorting is commission-only sales. Just as a real estate agent has to take lots of calls to find a paying buyer for a property they're trying to sell, we too must sift through lots of inquiries to get serious clients. Every business which relies on paying customers is the same. Every industry deals with window shoppers and question askers and indecisive, not yet ready to spend customers. Complaining about it doesn't make it go away, and it certainly doesn't change the reality. It is our job as business people to find paying clients. It is not the client's job to come to us and hand us money. Is replying to every text tedious and time-consuming? Yes, but we can make it easier for ourselves by doing two simple things. 1. We can save templated replies on our phones for every single repetitive question and inquiry we get, meaning all we have to do is copy and paste the same message time and time again. Thankfully, with today's technology, this is very simple to do. Just write down every question clients ask you, type up a simple response, and save it as a note to your phone with the relevant headline like, "Where is your in-call located?" Then copy and paste it when needed. Next, what we can do is number 2, have a simple process for spotting time wasters so we don't unnecessarily waste time which could be spent on genuine inquiries. To do this properly, we need to begin with the mindset that on the end of every inquiry is a potential paying client. Do not assume you know a client is a time waster until his actions, beyond one message, show you that he is. This is how I spot a time waster. I watch out for interactions which do not progressively follow the steps needed to get to a booking. To arrange a booking, we need to know what day the client wants to meet, what time, what location, what duration. We need to confirm the fee, possibly screen, maybe get a deposit, and provide clear meeting instructions, and frequently in this exact order. So, if at any point during the interaction you realize this information isn't being provided, all you need to do is go back to where it dropped off and ask the client clearly in one message using one sentence to tell you whatever you need to know to get back on track. So let's say a client, after telling you he wants to meet tomorrow at 3 p.m., gets carried away asking you questions about your service before confirming where he wants to meet you. You can simply say, "John, I'd be happy to answer that for you in a moment. Firstly though, what location would you like to meet?" With absolutely nothing more. Now, John must answer this direct question in order to prove to us he isn't a time waster and to continue interacting with us. If he answers, "In call, where are you located?" Great! We answer the question and we move on to asking him what duration he'd like to meet for. But if John says, "Not sure, can you send a pic?" we can be on alert that he might not be serious. So at this point, we simply ask our progression question and only our progression question again. "Yes, I certainly can shortly. Please tell me first, where would you like to meet?" And then we wait for John's response. I typically have a 2 to 3 text exchange rule. The quality of the client's overall interaction will determine whether it's 2 or 3. However, I engage in 2 or 3 text exchanges, so that's 4 or 6 texts between the client and I in total, giving him the opportunity to prove his authenticity. If he fails to answer clear, succinct, politely phrased questions directly, then I send him this, which I of course copy and paste from the templates on my phone. "John, I would love to meet with you. However, to continue chatting, please send me a $100 anonymous deposit to the following details, and then send me a photo of the receipt so I know you're serious about continuing. This amount will be deducted from the booking total. Clear deposit details are inserted. Thanks." And that's it. No mess, no fuss. If he continues to text me incessantly and it's annoying, I block him or I just ignore it. It is most likely he will go away, because what he was looking for was free communication. When you cut that off, he'll move on. Very occasionally, a client will actually pay this deposit and you'll proceed. What matters most, though, is that we have a clear predefined rule and systems for how we engage with clients and manage our time, which are not based on our emotions. Some days I am more tolerant than others. My intolerant days, unfortunately, cost me money when I allow my emotions to determine how I operate my business. Of course, how we feel matters, and it is not to be ignored. However, we have to get good at separating our emotions, which fluctuate, from the realities of running a business. Responding to inquiries is a very important part of our job. So we just need systems in place which allow us to operate within healthy boundaries, which protect our emotional states while also maximizing our business. Habit number 3 is take bookings. Escorting is an on-call, commission-only sales job. This isn't shift work where we clock on and clock off. The great part about that is we aren't chained to a desk from 9 till 5. We get to set our own hours and manage our own time. The flip side, of course, is that clients too want to set their own hours and have us fit in on their time. And if we aren't accommodating to that within reason, then we just won't get any work. The good news about most clients is they're the hardest to deal with simply the first time before they meet you. Once they know you and know you provide a good service, they become more flexible and willing to pre-book and pre-plan. This is why I always counsel new escorts to maximize their availability and be as available as possible at the start of their careers. The more new clients you see, the more likely you are to build regular clientele who are willing to contact you in advance to see you, thereby enabling you to reduce your on-call work hours because you have regular income from repeat clients who pre-book. But we can't put the cart before the horse. Too often, I meet escorts who have this the wrong way around, with expectations that new clients should bend to their schedule and organizational desires and needs. It would be nice, wouldn't it? Just as it would be nice for clients to deposit money into our accounts for no apparent reason. But unfortunately, it's just not reality. In the last year of my career, I was able to live off predominantly regular clients, reduce my work hours, and even take down my advertisements. But it took me 5 years of working hard to get there. So, make it a habit each day to organize your day around being available to do actual bookings. That means being at home and available to take short notice inquiries, especially at the times you know they're most likely to come in. Canceling things like beauty appointments in order to be available at a client's selected time. Now, all businesses have cancellation policies. If you have a $100 lash appointment, just cancel it and lose the 50% deposit or whatever it is you paid if you stand to make like $500 from a client. Not only because you will have $450 more than you otherwise would have, but because once you make yourself available for this new client and wow him with your talents in the room, next time he has an itch he needs scratched, instead of texting 10 escorts at once and seeing the first one available, and yes, this is what many clients do, he will just text you, and likely with some modicum of flexibility in order to see you. On your working days and during your self-appointed working hours, it is really important to keep your schedule free to actually be able to take bookings. That doesn't mean you need to stay chained to your apartment, but it does mean you shouldn't make plans which aren't easily moved or cancelled. For example, I didn't meet up with friends where I wasn't able to flexibly respond on my phone or leave if a booking came through, which meant I typically only caught up with friends during work hours who knew what I did. I didn't go on day trips out of town. I didn't go to exercise classes where I couldn't keep my phone with me. If you want to make more money, you have to be willing to make lifestyle choices which actually align with the reality of making that happen. And yes, at first, it might feel limited and boring and feel hard, but just decide whether you'd rather be broke or have a mundane schedule which maximizes your earning potential. I've been in the industry for almost 13 years now, and the escorts who make the most money are just the ones who prioritize taking bookings. If I had found another secret that worked better by now, I would have done it myself and I'd freely share it with you. But I haven't. Availability almost always equals more money. That brings us to habit number 4, exercise. There are 2 reasons anyone who wants to be a successful escort should be exercising regularly. 1, because exercise improves your health, and when you're healthier, you can operate at higher levels. For example, when you're healthy, your emotional state is typically better regulated, meaning you'll experience less stress and negative emotion. Escorts I know who experience less stress always do more. And as you can see by now, doing more usually gets you more. When you're healthier, you'll wake up more energized, think more clearly, feel more positive, and likely have higher levels of self-esteem. All very important for general well-being, and especially useful if you're self-employed, as independent escorts are, and your ability to earn is directly tied to your ability to physically perform. 2, The healthiest version of you is typically the most attractive to the widest number of potential clients. Most escorting is the exchange of sexual service for payment. A natural precursor for all humans wanting to experience sexual intimacy is attraction. Attraction is a biological function and is driven by the basic human instinct to procreate. It has been proven time and time again in countless scientific studies that we are biologically attracted to people whose biomarkers signify good health, because this enhances the chances of healthy procreation. If you don't believe me, go and research it yourself. I've said it before and I will say it again. There is a place for everyone in the adult industry. Someone somewhere is willing to pay for every look, age, size, color, breast type, and more. But if we want to maximize our earning potential, a very smart strategy is to maximize the number of clients who are attracted to us. The simple reality is, more people are attracted to individuals whose biomarkers signify good health than there are people who are attracted to those with biomarkers which signify bad health. If you want to maximize your earning potential, being the healthiest version of yourself should be high on your list of priorities. Given escorting is a very physically demanding job, you will also maximize your longevity in this industry by improving your health. Aside from exercising regularly, I also highly recommend the following: eating a clean and healthy diet, abstaining from all recreational drugs and nicotine, minimizing prescription medication, consistently getting 8 hours sleep, minimizing or eliminating alcohol, and having a low-stress, drama-free lifestyle. As an escort, I never did drugs with clients. Ever. And I was drunk a total of 1 time in 6 years. I did not see clients who were heavily drug or alcohol affected, no matter how much it influenced them to extend our bookings. Mostly because the money I would have lost in the days following due to my decreased capacity to work because of come downs and hangovers just wasn't worth it. And because I prioritized my health and my long-term ability to earn and attract the maximum amount of clients above any one-off long booking. This brings us to habit number 5, learning and personal development. Another massive perk of the job as an escort is we do typically get a lot of downtime. Most escorts don't take more than 10 bookings a week, particularly at the top end. Even with the necessary admin tasks, when you're doing the job properly, you'll likely have a lot of passive time on your hands between bookings and inquiries. A common complaint I hear from escorts is they're bored at home in between bookings and don't know what to do to occupy themselves while also remaining available. And to that, I have the perfect answer. Learn and develop yourself personally. Read books, take courses, listen to podcasts and audiobooks, preferably on topics which are related to making you better at your work and enhancing your income. For escorts, the best skills to focus on are learning to sell, time management, good health, communication and interpersonal skills, attraction and seduction, money management, and self-esteem. There is an abundance of free and paid material on these topics. Just imagine who you would be and how much you would learn if you read just 1 new book a month. Most people I know barely manage to get through 1 a year, let alone 12. But when you know better, you do better. When you do better, you experience higher levels of achievement, which is one of the building blocks of high self-esteem. Now, quick caveat on this. If you're prone to information overload, focus on books which are about mindset and attitude predominantly, and only read or consume action-based material periodically, like every 3 months. One of the downsides of consuming a lot of learning material is it can lead to information overload, as most books include a series of action steps. Doing too much reduces our focus from the few priorities we identified earlier, which lead to making more money, like responding to inquiries and taking bookings. The purpose of this learning should be to passively occupy you when you're already up to date with these tasks, not to take you away mentally or energetically from them. That brings us to habit number 6, meditation and affirmations. A mentor of mine used to say to me constantly, "Success leaves clues." What he meant was, successful people all do the same things. For example, all top athletes have rich mental practices which support them in achieving their goals. Usually, they are inclusive of things like visualization, prayer, affirmations, and meditation. We are what we believe, and what we believe can be programmed with time and repetition. Personally, I meditate, which includes visualizations, do my own form of prayer, and say affirmations every day, twice a day. But I didn't start with all these things. If you don't do or have never done any of these practices before, start small. Download a meditation app like Insight Timer, which is what I use, or get free ones from YouTube, and just begin by doing 5 minutes a day. A meditation guru I knew told me to always begin with self-compassion meditations because most of us are too hard on ourselves. So start with 5-minute meditations, and when it gets easy, either extend them to 10 minutes or start doing them twice a day instead of once. You do not need to spend 2 hours a day meditating and visualizing. Just start small, with whatever feels manageable to you, and make it consistent. Once it's easy, increase the load. It may be tempting to do all these things at once, twice a day, immediately, but I recommend you don't. When I first attempted meditating, I tried to force myself to do hour-long meditations and crashed and burned miserably. It was so dreadful it put me off meditating again for years, which meant I deprived myself of the significant upsides I could have been experiencing earlier in my life. People don't really have business problems, they have life problems. If you aren't where you want to be right now, it's likely because you do not possess the clarity, focus, discipline, or knowledge to achieve your goals. All of these things are attributes of the mind. They aren't tangible objects. There's a quote I love from the movie Eat, Pray, Love, where the main character's meditation guru says to her, "You need to be able to select your thoughts the same way you select the clothes you put on in the morning." All successful mentors I've ever had have possessed unusually high levels of emotional control and discipline. They have invested serious time and effort in learning how to select their thoughts, which ultimately governed how they operated in the world. If you're starting out like I was, be kind to yourself. It will be hard at first, but take comfort in knowing that if you just take one tiny step forward every day for a year, you'll look back and barely even recognize who you are right now. And finally, check out this day plan from an escort of mine who decided to put these 6 habits into practice. When I first met her, she was making less than $3,500 a month. In our first month together, she more than 3x'd her income and got to $12,360. No social media, no professional photo shoots, and nothing complex, just by keeping it simple. So that's all for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. If you want to learn more escorting tips, just click the link below this video.